Hello, and welcome to Rallying the Forge. I'm your host, Sol.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Rallying the Forge. I'm Solmer, and today we're diving into Set 4 Shadows Over Solis, specifically highlighting some standout spells, ones that have caught my attention, the community's interest, or simply proved to be powerhouses. Keep in mind, these are my opinions, and I'm excited to hear yours in the comments. Stick around because at some point in this video, I'll share how you can win a free SolForge Fusion booster code from me. One person will win a booster code. So, I'm going to jump right in. I picked out 7 spells. There were, not counting Betrayers, there were 69, I think, in the set. At least that's what the website showed. So I chose 7. That's roughly 10%. And then I have, for each faction, I chose one honorable mention. So these are not necessarily the best spells. These are just, some of them may be. Some of them I do think are of the top tier of the spells in the set. But some of them are just more fun-oriented. But we'll jump in, and you can give your thoughts and opinions in the comments. So let me pull this up. All right, we start with, this is probably one of the stronger spells in the set, if not the strongest spell. Pestilence. It's Necrim, of course. It can betray. This card demands being played as an underdrop, obviously, but it's an absolute game changer late in matches. It reduces both attack and health of enemy creatures and can dramatically shift the board. Pestilence is easily one of my top 3 spells from this set. As I said, it's versatile, impactful, and can neutralize threats you otherwise couldn't handle. So this one is definitely a spell everyone loves to see in their deck list, if you're, no matter what faction you're playing. So definitely want to start off with this one. I think a lot of people would agree this is one of the best spells in the set. Our next one, where is it? Oh, I had to scroll. Sorry. Essence Unleashed. This is Utera. At first glance, maybe not flashy, but its utility is undeniable. Utera isn't packed with a lot of hard removal options, so this spell definitely stands out. It's basically the Botanimate for this set. It handles out-of-control threats and even upgrades one of your own creatures. So it's dependable and practical. I really like this spell. I think because this set is limited on hard removal, this card can be very useful. Obviously, timing is a big thing. You got to draw it when you need it, but definitely a great addition to a deck. So I've got these in a certain order that I wanted to, but my images are all out of order. So, Hammer Flame. So, this is a Tempest spell. This one's fun. I love this card. I think it's so much fun. Such a great card. It can turn a creature into a lane-clearing monster, adding blast and boosting its attack if they slay. It can be powerful in playing it off Forge. You can open a lane up and get a guy through with that if you play it as the last action of a turn. It just can be such a strong card, and it has so much utility. There's combinations you can use with this with other cards that just make it really, really strong. And then, of course, depending on how things go, you have a creature there who just got his attack boosted. If it killed something, they're going to answer it now. If you can make him survive again, he's going to get boosted again if he's killing their creature. So this can really have a big impact on a game. I really love this spell. I think it's a great spell. This next one, it's a special one. We're going to display it in Necrium, but Darkforge Loyalty. This can be in any faction. It can only be in Darkforge decks. It's the only Darkforge spell. So I think this card is definitely a good card. Obviously, it can only go Darkforge decks, unfortunately, but being able to play it for free is huge. So that alone can make it really strong. And with Darkforge decks, you're already reducing your health quite a bit. So, playing it for free isn't going to be much of a challenge unless you draw it like on your opening hand when you're at full health and you're like, what am I supposed to do, right? So, obviously it has extra impact if you get the Omni in this set. But otherwise, even without that, it's a free spell that can kill creatures, remove things off the board, or weaken things that allow you to perhaps blast it off the board or with other means. So it's definitely a great card to have in a Darkforge deck. It can be really nice if you have two of them if you're playing double Darkforge, which a lot of people do. So I think this card definitely deserved some recognition here because it's definitely one of the better spells in the set, I think. Oh, here we go. Draconic Echoes. Tempest is next. This is a fan favorite, I feel like, especially ever since it was spoiled and released. It gives a creature consistent blasting damage every combat phase. Think of it like an upgraded Spiky ability, really. It's better than Spiky. Then it also generates a minion that helps adding into some synergies for Tempest. So it's just a really good card. You get a minion. If you didn't have a creature, you could put this on that minion, or you could put it on another creature that you have. And blasting at the start of combat can neutralize the threat, can clear a lane for you to get some damage through. It's just something that your opponent has to account for. If your guy's open laned already, then you're just doing damage to their face. It's just additional damage. So there's really no downside to this card. Because you're getting a creature and you're getting an augment ability that's going to happen every turn. It's not like something else has to happen other than combat has to start and your creature needs to be on the board. So I think a lot of people really like this card. I think it's a really strong card. I haven't played it a whole lot. I don't have a lot of them in my collection yet, but I definitely have seen it used against me. So definitely one of those cards everyone wants to have. And then we get another Tempest card, Stormstrike. This one is definitely a fun card, I feel like, for people to play when it's in the right deck, of course. It kind of turns the minions into mini artillery units. And by level 3, it can, with some other abilities, can wipe a board. Minions blasting for 5 in every lane, potentially. Depending on what other Forgeborn abilities you can put with it or other abilities spell-wise, you can do a lot of damage to your opponent's board and potentially if you wipe it out, and then now you've got a full board while they have nothing. That's something hard to overcome. So definitely a fun card. I think a lot of people are trying to make use of it with some other combinations with some other cards. So definitely, I think it's one of the more popular spells. I think it's a very strong spell as well. And then for our 7th, it's last but not least, we have Stroke of Genius. So this is a powerful underdrop card. Has to be lower level than your Forgeborn. But you get to, at the first level, upgrade a level 1 card and then play it for free. So you're playing the level 2 for free. At level 2, you have to use it at level 3 or 4. So you're upgrading a card. You can upgrade a level 3 card, but you could also upgrade a level 2 card to make it level 3 and then play it for free. And then the level 3 is you get to upgrade 2 cards and play them for free. So that can be 2 level 3 cards in cycle 4 that you're getting to play. In a lot of situations, that can be really, really strong if you're getting to that point. But even the level 2, just upgrading a card and playing it for free, that's a free level 3 card potentially that you're getting the drop on the board with the right draw. That can be really strong. So I think this is one of the better Alolan spells, maybe the best Alolan spell in the set. It does, you do need to have a good Alolan deck with it, or get a Betrayer version of this to really use it. But I definitely think it's probably the best Alolan spell, at least in my opinion. Everyone's free to their own opinion on that. But I think it's just so good. So good. All right. Before we get to the honorable mentions, I want to tell you how you can get how you can win a free booster code. So what I want is for all the viewers to comment on this video your favorite set 4 spell and why, or you can tell me whether you agree or disagree with my choices for the 7 spells I chose, or about the honorable mentions. Commenting more than once won't increase your odds. It's going to be one chance per person that comments, and I'll randomly pick a winner in a future video, and they will get a booster code. So looking forward to that. This is the first time I'm giving something away, so really looking forward to being able to do that. So please comment. I will read every comment, and I will probably respond to all of them as well. Looking forward to what everyone has to say. Like I said, everyone's got different opinions. Everyone's got different agendas for, what they feel is important and whatnot. So I did try to include each faction in the 7 cards. Tempest kind of dominated that, but they might just have the best spells. I did look through every spell. There are plenty of other good spells. Do not get me wrong. So overall, I feel like there's a few really high tier spells, and then there's a whole gaggle of just really strong and useful spells, and then there is a group of just spells that aren't that great, and there's a lot of spells, or a handful I should say, not really a lot, a handful of spells I think people were hopeful for that just didn't turn out to be that great, or they haven't found their thing yet. So we'll see how that goes. As far as everyone's opinions. So looking forward to that. But now let's finish up the video with my honorable mentions, one for each faction. It's like I said, these are not necessarily the best spells. They could be fun spells, but they could be some of the better ones as well. So we're going to start with Necrium, and I chose Endless Hunt. It's not flashy, but it's highly effective, especially with like a card like Soul Scourge Grimgaunt and other warriors and warrior synergies. It's kind of a sleeper pick with a great board impact. If you haven't looked at Soul Scourge Grimgaunt, for every creature that died when he comes into play, he gets bonus attack and health. So you can use this while he's in combat. You can have everything die on the board, and he comes back with this, and he gets the buff of everything dying, and he comes back huge. And if they don't have a removal spell, hard removal spell, then they have to deal with that, which can be tough. So even if you don't have him, it brings back warriors. So you can bring back Verlana if they manage to get rid of yours. You can bring back like Casey Kidd, Core. They're all warriors, so you can do all of that. A lot of warrior, obviously Grandmate up to 1 warrior. So warrior synergies there. There's a lot of that in set 4. So I thought this was a really great card. Maybe not on a lot of people's radars, but have seen it used, and it's powerful. So I like that one. Next up, we're going to go with Tempest. Its last one. This one was just fun. Violent Rampage. You need Yetis, obviously, and you need to be able to boost their attack. So when you can do that, though, if you have a deck that's capable of doing that, this card can one-shot your opponent. I've had it used against me. I'm trying to think if it killed me in one of the matches. I feel like I've had it kill me in one match, and then I've also had it where I managed to put something down and block what they were going to do. My creature died, but I didn't take all that damage. But this can be really strong, especially with some of the other stuff we've already shown. The Hammer Flame, for example, can be really strong. You put it on a Yeti, you pop this on it, and it can, like I said, it can get big quick, and do a lot of damage. So this card is a lot of fun. I don't know how competitive it'll be. I don't know if we've found a Yeti deck that's just super strong. It might be more of a fun type of deck to play. I don't have any of the good Yeti decks that has all 4 of the major Yetis you want and like this spell with it. So I've seen some people that do have it, and it does look like a lot of fun, but I haven't played it myself. I've played against it, but this card, I've seen someone play it, and their opinion was it's not consistent enough. If this is your win condition, so to speak, if you don't have all the Yetis to be able to make them threats, then you might rely on this card to get your win through. But if obviously having more than one win condition is going to be something you're going to want for that type of deck. But definitely a fun card. Let's see here. Loyan, this card here is probably one of my personal favorites. It's free after the first cycle, or after the first level, rather. You get to upgrade 2 cards in your hand, then discard them. At level 3, you upgrade your entire hand, and you keep them all. And like I said, it's free. So I really like this card. I think in a really good, strong Aloyan deck with all the right, we'll say, creatures, and you have a spell like this, Stroke of Genius in it, maybe something else. This card could be really, really strong. It lets you upgrade cards you haven't been able to get to, or that you didn't, you have a level that you just don't want to level it up because it's a bad play. So this lets you bypass that to a certain extent. And 2 cards through the first 3 cycles or for the first 2 cycles is a lot. And then level 3, you get to upgrade everything in your hand. So you definitely want to draw it with cards that aren't level 3 already, but you can't, pick which cards you get. But it's a very good card. I've used it in several matches and had it where it really made a difference. So to me, it's one of my favorite cards. Aloyn doesn't have a whole lot that I love, but this spell is definitely top of the list for me. I think this is a really good spell. I really like it. And I haven't done it yet, but it does have, obviously, upgrade synergies. So if you play with an upgrade deck, I do have a deck, Preserved Habitat deck, that I feel like it's a really good Preserved Habitat deck, just that half, but I haven't been able to find a good pair for it that really makes it go off. So maybe I'll be able to find something in set 4 Aloyan for it when I revisit that one day. So it's there, and maybe someone else will make it pop off before I get to it. But definitely one of my favorite cards, so I wanted to highlight that one. All right, and our last honorable mention is going to be a Nuterra card. I'll probably get some slack for this, but I feel like this card is highly versatile. It's basically, to me, and what I think a lot of people would agree with, it's basically like a Ferocious Roar, but it doesn't necessarily affect all your creatures when you play it, which is true. But it, depending on how you're building your deck and how you're using it, obviously, you could have a board. I've had plenty of boards where I've used this where I got one creature that's not the same as all the others, so I can make that one the same as all the others by using this card, and I buff them all, so I basically get the Ferocious Roar buff from it by affecting all my creatures. But what it also does is it gives a creature that doesn't have a certain type, and now it can get other synergies from those other creature types, whether it's warrior, beast, zombie, elemental, you name it. It gets everything, right? So it gives you a lot of utility. It can be used in a lot of different type of decks. I definitely like using it with like warrior synergy decks. Use it with Verlana there, or beast decks with Calthor. So I found a lot of utility with it. I think it's an underrated card. I think it's better than most people maybe at a glance give it credit for. So I like it. I think it's a good card to have, depending on how you're building your deck. People maybe have it in decks that doesn't get those type of synergies, but there are decks that it can get that out of. So that's all the cards I have that I spells that I wanted to review for Shadows Over Solis. Overall, I think Set 4 has delivered a mix of strong, versatile spells, and they also have some really fun spells in there that I don't know if they're going to be on the ultra competitive side or not, but there's a lot of fun to be had with that, and there's something to say for that, because just grinding the absolute best of the best decks can get old after a while. Even someone like me who just plays because I just want to play and win all my matches. I just hate losing. So I always try to play something competitive as much as I can. But there are times when you just want to play something fun, and you go out there and you do it, and when it goes off, it's a great feeling. So they have a lot of cards like that in this set that you can have a lot of fun with. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing people's thoughts, their comments. If you can like, subscribe, and or comment on the video. I appreciate everyone taking the time to watch this. I hope you enjoyed it. I plan to release some more videos on Set 4 reviews. I did spells today, and I'll probably do factions next. I'll just do one faction at a time, because there's a lot to cover in each faction. They're all different. So I'll probably do that. I don't know the time frame on that, but it'll probably be at least one video a week. It might be more depending on how much time I have to do this stuff. But I definitely look forward to, like I said, reading everyone's comments and getting their thoughts, whether they agree or disagree with the cards that I selected. If there's something they feel I left out that should have got a little bit of spotlight, I'm all ears for it. So thank you again for your time. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I look forward to seeing you guys around. Take care. Thank you.
This has been an episode of Rallying the Forge. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.